Chosen one, listen carefully. What you are about to hear is no ordinary message. This is not a coincidence. This is your moment. God has led you here for a reason, because He is about to reveal something that will change everything in your life. There is a prayer so powerful, so life-altering, that most people are too afraid to say it. They hesitate. They resist. Because this prayer requires more than just words. It demands faith, surrender, and courage. But hear this. If you have the boldness to say this prayer, if you dare to open your heart and trust fully in God's will, then prepare yourself for miracles beyond your understanding. God is calling you to step into something greater. He is waiting to pour out blessings that will overflow in your life. But will you dare to pray the prayer that unlocks it all? Chosen one, this is your moment. Do not ignore this message. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, your entire life could change with a single prayer? What if there were words so powerful, so deeply aligned with God's will, that when spoken with true faith, they could open the floodgates of heaven over your life? Most people pray for comfort. They ask God for blessings that fit within their understanding, within their plans, within what they feel is best. But the prayer I'm about to reveal is different. It's not about asking for what you want. It's about surrendering to what God wants. And that is what makes it so powerful. This prayer is not for the faint of heart. It requires complete trust. It requires you to step into the unknown, to let go of control, to hand over everything, your plans, your desires, your fears, to the hands of the Almighty. The reason most people hesitate to pray this prayer is simple. Deep down, they are afraid of losing what is familiar, afraid of stepping into something bigger than themselves, afraid that God's plan might lead them to places they didn't expect. But let me tell you something. God's plan is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. When you dare to pray this prayer, when you release your grip on your own will and step fully into His, you will see miracles unfold in ways you never thought possible. There are those who have prayed this prayer and watched as chains of poverty, sickness, and loneliness were broken. They have seen doors open where there were none before. They have witnessed healing, restoration, and supernatural provision that could only come from heaven. But this prayer is not just about receiving blessings. It is about transformation. It is about becoming the person God created you to be. It is about stepping into your divine destiny with boldness and faith. And now, chosen one, the question stands before you. Do you have the courage to say this prayer? Because if you do, if you truly dare, your life will never be the same again. Chosen one, take a deep breath. What you are about to hear is not for the weak-hearted. It's for those who are ready, truly ready, to step into a new level of faith. You see, most people go to God with a list of requests. They pray for things they think they need. More money, a better job, a new relationship, healing in their body. And yes, God hears these prayers. Yes, He cares about every detail of your life. But the truth is, these prayers are often spoken from a place of human understanding, limited by what we can see, by what we think is best. But God sees the full picture. He sees the road ahead that you cannot. He sees the people who will betray you before they do it. He sees the opportunities that are meant for you and the ones that will lead to destruction. He sees what will truly fulfill you, not just for a moment, but for eternity. And this is where the challenge begins. Because the prayer I am about to reveal requires you to let go of your plans and embrace His. This prayer does not ask for money, success, or even healing in the way you might expect. It does not demand answers, nor does it try to bend God's will to your own desires. Instead, it does the opposite. It says, "Lord, not my will, but yours be done." Did you feel that? That weight in your spirit? That hesitation? Because that is the exact moment where faith is tested. Most people are afraid to pray these words because they fear what will happen next. They fear that God might take them somewhere unfamiliar, that He might ask them to release something they're not ready to let go of, that He might close a door they wanted open, or lead them down a path they never considered. But, chosen one, listen to me. When you pray this prayer, when you truly surrender, you are not losing. You are stepping into something greater. God does not take away. He transforms. When He asks you to release something, it is only because He has something better. When He leads you away from something, it is only because He is guiding you toward your destiny. But most people never experience this. They cling to their own will so tightly that they miss the miracles waiting on the other side of surrender. They are so afraid of the unknown that they settle for less than what God has planned for them. But not you. You are here because God is calling you into something deeper. You are here because He is asking you to trust Him fully. And if you can take this step, if you can truly say, "Lord, not my will, but yours be done," then get ready, because everything is about to change. Chosen one, I need you to understand something. When you pray, "Lord, not my will, but yours be done," something shifts in the spiritual realm. This is not just a phrase. This is not just empty words. This is a declaration, a covenant, a key that unlocks something far greater than you could ever imagine. And here's the secret. When you fully surrender, God moves in ways that defy all logic. The moment you let go of control, heaven takes over. You stop trying to force doors open, and instead, you watch as God opens doors no man can shut. You stop chasing after things that drain you, and suddenly, the blessings you were striving for begin to chase after you. But here's the part many people don't expect. Before the blessing, there is a test. When Jesus prayed this prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane, surrendering to the will of the Father, what happened next? A cross, a sacrifice, a moment of deep pain. And for you, there may be a moment when things seem to get harder before they get better. God may remove certain people from your life. He may close doors that you thought were your path. He may lead you into a season of stillness, where nothing seems to be happening, and you are left wondering if surrender was the right choice. But hear me. This is not the end of the story. The cross was not the end for Jesus. It was the beginning of resurrection. And for you, this moment of surrender is not the end. It is the doorway to your greatest breakthrough. The enemy will try to convince you that surrender means loss, but the truth is, surrender is what positions you for true victory. Because when you are no longer trying to control the outcome, when you are no longer striving in your own strength, when you have fully placed your life in God's hands, that is when heaven invades your reality. This is when chains begin to break. This is when divine appointments begin to unfold. This is when the supernatural becomes natural in your life. Look at the lives of those who truly walked in God's power. Did they hold onto their own plans, their own comfort, their own understanding? No. They surrendered. And through their surrender, God used them to shake the world. Abraham surrendered his home and was led into the land of promise. Moses surrendered his fear and was used to part the sea. David surrendered his insignificance and was crowned as king. Even Jesus, the Son of God, surrendered to the will of the Father, and through that surrender, he changed eternity. And now, chosen one, God is calling you to the same kind of surrender. Are you willing? Are you ready to stop wrestling with God and start walking in His divine purpose? Because if you do, if you truly let go, if you truly trust Him, get ready. Your resurrection moment is coming. The moment you surrender, truly surrender, heaven takes notice. Angels are dispatched. Destinies are shifted. The chains that held you back begin to break. And what once seemed impossible suddenly becomes your reality. But let me be clear. This is not about a passive faith. This is not about sitting back and doing nothing. Surrender does not mean weakness. Surrender means trust. It means standing firm in faith even when the road ahead is unclear. Look at what happened when Jesus surrendered to the Father's will. Though He faced the cross, though He endured suffering, His surrender unleashed the greatest victory in history. Death was defeated. The grave lost its power. And on the third day, He rose in glory. And you, chosen one, are about to witness the same power of resurrection in your life. Your surrender is an invitation for God to move. When you finally release control, that is when doors that have been locked for years will begin to swing open. That sickness in your body, it will no longer hold you captive. That financial burden you've been carrying, it will be lifted in ways you never expected. That heartbreak, that rejection, that deep wound in your soul, God is about to heal it completely. The moment you say, "Lord, I trust you. I will follow wherever you lead," that is the moment when everything shifts. You may not see it right away. Sometimes, God works in the unseen before He reveals it in the visible. But let me tell you this, once you have fully surrendered, your breakthrough is guaranteed. Because God is not a man that He should lie. He has never failed a single person who has truly trusted Him, and He will not fail you. There will be moments when the enemy tries to whisper doubts in your mind. He will try to make you believe that surrendering was a mistake. He will try to fill you with fear, telling you that you need to take back control. But do not listen to him. The enemy trembles when a believer fully surrenders to God, because he knows that a surrendered person is unstoppable. When you are fully aligned with God's will, no weapon formed against you can prosper. No enemy can stop what God has ordained. No force in hell can stand against the power of a child of God who has said, "Not my will, but yours be done." You are stepping into a new season, a season of divine favor, a season where you will see God's hand move like never before. But this is only for those who dare to trust Him completely. So now, chosen one, I ask you again, will you dare to pray this prayer? Will you truly let go and trust that God's way is higher, greater, and more powerful than anything you could ever imagine? Because if you do, if you say these words from the depths of your soul, your life will never be the same again. Chosen one, this is the moment where everything shifts, the moment where heaven watches to see what you will do next. You have walked through seasons of struggle. You have fought battles in silence, wondering if God saw your pain. You have prayed, you have waited, and you have searched for answers. And now, He is answering. But His answer is not what most people expect. He is not offering an easy road. He is not promising instant results. He is not handing you a quick fix. No. He is offering you something far greater. He is offering you a new life, a life where you are no longer weighed down by fear, a life where you are no longer bound by limitations, a life where you no longer have to force doors open, because God Himself is opening them for you. But in order to step into it, you must let go of everything holding you back, every doubt, every fear, every old way of thinking. You must be willing to say, God, I trust you completely. I lay everything down at your feet. Take my life and do what you will. This is the prayer that changes everything. And this is the prayer that few dare to pray. Because once you say these words, there is no going back. You will begin to see things shift in your life in ways you never imagined. Some people may walk away from you. Some doors may close. Some old habits, old mindsets, and even old relationships will begin to fall away. But don't be afraid. This is not loss. This is transformation. God is not taking anything from you that you need. He is removing the things that were never meant for you. Because where He is taking you, you cannot afford to carry extra weight. You cannot afford to be bound by things that do not align with His plan. You cannot afford to live as anything less than the person He created you to be. And so, chosen one, this is your moment, the final step before everything changes. Will you dare to speak these words? Will you dare to trust Him? Because if you do, heaven will move on your behalf. Destiny will begin to unfold, and you will step into the life that has been waiting for you since the beginning of time. God has been speaking to your heart. You have felt it. The pull, the stirring, the undeniable knowing that this moment was divinely appointed. And now, heaven is watching to see what you will do next. Because this is not just another prayer. This is a moment of surrender, a moment of alignment, a moment where you step into your true calling. If you dare to speak these words with full faith, I promise you, things will begin to shift. Chains will break. Delays will be removed. The doors you have been knocking on will finally open. But this requires something from you. It requires your yes, not just with your lips, but with your heart, your soul, your entire being. If you are ready, truly ready, then right now, wherever you are, say this prayer out loud. Father, I surrender. I let go of my own will, my own plans, my own desires. I trust you completely. Lead me, guide me, use me for your purpose. Even when I don't understand, I will follow you. Even when it's uncomfortable, I will trust you. Not my will, but yours be done. In Jesus' name, amen. Did you feel that? That was not just words. That was an activation, a declaration, a shift in the heavens. Because when a chosen one prays this prayer, heaven moves. God is taking over now. He is stepping in. He is working in ways you cannot yet see. And now, the only thing left to do is trust Him. Trust Him when things don't make sense. Trust Him when the road ahead looks uncertain. Trust Him when you don't yet see the breakthrough. Because He is moving, and soon you will see the evidence of what He is doing. Chosen one, if you prayed that prayer, let the world know. Type, I surrender, in the comments. Declare it. Let this be your moment of transformation. And now, get ready, because everything is about to change. The moment you spoke those words, something broke in the spirit. The weight you've been carrying, the fears that have held you back, the questions that have kept you restless, it's all being lifted now. This is not the end. This is a new beginning. A beginning where you no longer have to strive, fight, or push in your own strength. Because now, God is leading the way. Now, the burdens are no longer yours to carry alone. Now, your life is no longer directed by fear, doubt, or uncertainty. It is guided by the one who sees the full picture. And that means miracles are already in motion. That means provision is already on its way. That means divine opportunities are being prepared for you even as you hear this message. But most importantly, that means your destiny, the one written by God before you were even born, is unfolding in ways you never imagined. This journey will not always be easy. There will be moments where faith is required before the breakthrough appears. There will be moments where you must remind yourself that you have surrendered, that God is in control, that His plan is better than anything you could create on your own. But here is the truth you must hold on to. God never fails. And because you have placed your life in His hands, you will not fail either. Everything you have walked through has led you to this moment. And from this moment forward, you will walk in a new authority, a new power, a new faith that cannot be shaken. You are not just anyone. You are chosen. You have been called. You have been set apart for something far greater than you ever imagined. And now, you are stepping into it. If this message spoke to your spirit, if you felt the power of this prayer, if you know that today something changed in your life, then let it be known. Type, "I surrender," in the comments. Declare it. Let heaven and earth witness the moment you gave God full control. And if you're ready to walk in this new season with boldness, if you're ready to see the power of surrender at work in your life, then don't stop here. Share this message. Let others hear the call. Let others step into their breakthrough. Because what God is doing in your life right now is just the beginning. Chosen one, your time has come. Your future is unfolding, and the best is yet to come. Stay strong. Stay faithful. Stay surrendered. Everything is about to change.